live. See if anybody comes in here. What's up, Big Red? How's it going? We got one person in here for sure. I'm gonna, since I'm using Streamlabs, I'm gonna check it on the YouTube app real quick on my phone. Make sure it's coming through. Am I audible? Can y'all hear me? What's going on, Smooth? Alright, it does show live on my channel. What's going on, Smooth? Alright, cool. So how the fuck has everybody been? I haven't seen y'all in a while. I think, let's see, what was my last video? I was waiting for storms in Joplin. For anybody that doesn't know, I lost the Hellhound, which was the Black International. When I hit that deer, the guy who actually owned the truck was being kind of an asshole to my boss, and my boss just said, fuck you, come take the truck. So now I'm back in what I call the jizz stain, the white truck. And I've been back in it for like the last month. I just finally got around to like cleaning it, because and it's not even totally done. I just wanted to get the floor done so I could put down my new carpets, because this truck was fucked up, nasty. It was used as a local truck, and them guys, they don't give a shit. I returned this truck as nice as I could, and it was given back to me with a dirt covered floor, a broken cabinet, a broken table, what else? A broken mud flap, and just general filth. So, as long as the boss man can eventually get me a freezer, I'll be happy. And put my power inverter in here. I've got a 3,000 watt power inverter. Yes, I cleaned it. At least I cleaned what I really wanted to clean, which was the floor, because it's been driving me nuts for the past month. So see it's all nice and wiped down and carpeted. Everybody say hi to my wife. That would be Melly Hayes. She's over here calling me a fag, which would make her a man. The bed, I did not change out. I just flipped the mattress. The bed in here was the bed that was in the black truck when I got it. So what I did was, when we got the black truck, I took the mattress out of here and put it in there, and took the mattress out of there and put it in here. But that was a two-person operation, and I didn't have two people this time. My wife was with me when the last time we did it, so I just said fuck it. I flipped the mattress, and I made it all, well, it's fucked up and messy now because I was cleaning, but I made it, you know, I covered it up and everything, and we're good. There was like an overabundance of pillows in here for some reason, so I just took them all and kind of turned the bed into a couch. Oh, my Pantera shirt? Why, yes. Oh, I got crap on it. Part of the reason I haven't been live lately is there hasn't been a whole lot to talk about. I've been generally actually kind of miserable because of this truck. It's because it's been gross, and freight's really taking a shit, so So as my rolling, my miles, they're up this week, except for the fact that Sam's Club is being dicks, and I wasn't going to make my delivery yesterday, so they put it out for fucking 47 hours instead of letting me get worked in today or anything, and they won't answer their phones. So, gotta love Sam's Club and Walmart, right? Fucking fuck knuckles. So now I'm parked getting like a 45-hour reset. Here in Pennsylvania. But at least it's a fucking... No, okay. It's not covering it up. At least I have a nice view. I mean, got a nice view of the mountain over there. So... But yeah, that's what I've been up to, and that's what's been going on. Just kind of miserable. Just doing what I gotta do, and things have been fucked up for the last month, but hopefully they're back on the rise. So, yeah. Next thing I gotta clean is these fucking cup holders. See, you can ask my wife. I'm a fucking slob at home, but when it comes to my truck, while it doesn't have to be perfect, it has to be clean. Hi, Melody. Hello from YouTube. My daughter is obsessed with YouTube. She watches toy unboxings, and then we have to go get the toy. So the red spot is the red spot's not the camera lens. The red spot is actually this software. I've got to figure out how to move that. If you look real closely, it's actually the counter for how many people are in here watching. Because I don't have 1,000 subscribers, so I can't use YouTube's actual live feature. I have to use a third-party software. So I'm using Streamlabs. And yeah, if you look real close, it'll say what we got 4 people in here now. It should say, like, there should be a little 4 next to that. Here, it's probably on my forehead, because it was on my forehead last time I looked. So I'll put my phone in the way, and if you look real close, there should be a little 4 next to it. Man, I gotta tell you, I'm bored, but at least I saved my crappy little power inverters. I've got a 400 watt and a 300 watt. So at least I can run my TV and my PlayStation. I've got a big dog waiting to get installed. I just am having trouble finding somewhere to get it done. TA and Petra won't do it anymore. And every CB shop I come across is fucking closed when I get there. Should try and swing by the Chrome shop in Gary. They'll probably do it. But I've got a sniper? Fuck. Probably on that hill. I've got a 3,000 watt power inverter sitting in the truck that just needs to get installed. And once I get that bad boy installed, we can put a dorm fridge in here, and because that's the one thing I'm mad about losing the Hellhound is I lost my fridge. I had a fridge with a freezer, and I was eating healthy, I was eating good. Now I've been fucking eating out every day, and it sucks. Oh, you do have a birthmark on your forehead. It's an off-center. It's an off-center dot, and it drives me crazy because it's off-center. It's like me with area rugs. Like the whole room could be chaos, but that area rug had better be straight, or I get pissy. Therefore, I cannot have area rugs in any room that I'm in. It's one thing that my mom was always confused about growing up. I had an area rug in my bedroom, and my bedroom would be a complete and utter disaster, but that rug would be perfectly straight. Yeah, or I'll be goddamned. See, my family's all at home enjoying the pool, and I'm over here enjoying not a pool. It is hot though over here in Pennsylvania. The thermometer's lying. It says 67. It is not 67. It is the last time that's updated. Oh, that just updated now. It's 88 degrees. What's up, Pyro? It has been a while. Yeah, I wish I was at home too, enjoying the pool and beer. See, that's what I'm gonna do when I come home. There better be like we better still have that little floating bed raft thing, so I can just sit in the pool and drink beer all day. Because that's what I'm gonna do, all day. Now, see, that's my kind of weather. Dallas, 100 degrees, that's what I like. You'd be surprised, Pyro, especially over like closer to New York City, it does actually get quite hot. The kids popped my fucking raft. You tell those kids I said kiss my ass, they're gonna buy me a new one, even though it wasn't mine to begin with. I hijacked it from the kids. So last year we had at home we had this pool, but it wasn't very big. Like if I laid across it, and I'm not very tall, I'm only like 5'7". I'm somewhere between 5'6" and 5'8", so we'll just call it 5'7". This pool wasn't very big. It was probably like 6 feet, 6.5 feet maybe. But I would just lay on the raft and drink beer. See, I like humid weather. I don't know why. Some people call me fucking crazy, and sometimes I will bitch, but I really actually do like hot, humid weather. Oh, I didn't know you were from Pennsylvania there, Pyro. I always thought you were, I know you're in California, but I thought that's where you're from. You just traded one crazy for another. The normal people are in the center of the country. Yeah, so, like my wife just said, I think my sister-in-law's pit bull popped that last pool. And thank goodness, because the pool that they have now is fucking huge. It's not deep. It probably only would come up to like my waist, but it's big enough for like everybody to go in and have their own space. And there's a lot of people over there, so everybody can go in and enjoy it. As long as nobody tips me over while I'm on my raft drinking beer, we're good. Yeah, see, I've kind of fallen off the wagon just a little bit, but right now I am drinking water. I try to drink as much water as I can, but I've been having a little bit of soda here and there. I've put on weight that I've lost, and part of that's because I don't have the means to keep food fresh in here, so I can't cook. I have an ambient cooler, the Coleman Iceless cooler, but it is not meant for long-term storing. It's not an actual fridge, so it gets gross. So what I'm trying to do is, my boss said he's going to get the inverter installed. I just don't know when and where. And then I'm thinking of maybe actually putting in like an actual dorm fridge, like one of the $100 ones with the freezer from Walmart. That should do the trick. Do what I did in the old truck and rip out this top mattress and use it like an attic. But now that I've cleaned this truck and laid down my carpets, I feel like I have room. What's that word? Feng shui or feng shui or whatever the fucking Asians say. Oh yeah, they are. I was looking at a Dometic freezer, just a freezer. And it's a freezer that plugs into a cigarette outlet. And it also plugs into a regular outlet, like a house outlet. And it was like $750, and it wasn't very big. But I don't need a huge freezer. When I had the freezer in my other truck, this thing was like literally the size of an iPad. And not actually, it was more narrow than an iPad, and probably about as deep as an iPad is long. But it did the trick. I was able to keep, some burger patties in there. I was able to keep some steaks in there. It was a game of Tetris, but it worked. All right, go take care of the kid. And I'm gonna tell her you called her a stinky butt. Like, calling my daughter a stinky butt is like, I don't know. That's like the most offensive word in the book to her. But if I get like a regular dorm fridge, like a mini fridge with a freezer, and I strap it down so it doesn't move, it should be good. And if it only lasts a year, oh well. I mean, I got my money's worth out of it. I just buy a new one. I mean, if you look down there, I've got the Coleman cooler right there, but it's not on. It's empty. It's really okay. I was using it when I was home every weekend, when I was going back and forth to Dallas, and even after that, it got gross because I was keeping meat in there, and the meat, of course, isn't getting frozen. So you've only got a certain amount of days to use the meat, and if you don't, like, you know how it is. You're just fucking tired. You don't want to cook. You're just gonna go into fucking Hardee's and grab a little burger. Shit like that. You didn't use the meat, and it would start to bleed and get all over your veggies, and like there's no shelves in there, so you can't keep everything organized. It's just a clusterfuck. I'd rather get the freezer and then use that for what it can be used for, like veggies and drinks and shit like that. Pyro, what happened to my ProStar is I hit a deer. I hit a deer quite hard. I was going up 95 in Nevada, coming out of, what's that, Winnemucca. It was like 3 in the morning, nobody else on the road but me and apparently deer. And I was doing about 75. And I saw this motherfucker last minute, and I figured, okay, there's nobody coming in the oncoming lane. My load is light. I'll hit the oncoming lane and hit the brakes a little bit. I did that, and that fucking deer must have been like Michael Jackson reincarnated, because it moonwalked in front of my truck. Like, it just walked backwards right in front of the truck and got shot off into the ditch. My fucking cat, I had my cat with me, and I had my guitar case is right here now, but in the other truck it was up on the top bunk because I didn't have the mattress up there. She was up there sleeping, And I hit that deer and hit the brakes, and she comes flying down like a fucking furry missile. And I'm kind of just like sitting there in the middle of the road like, what the fuck? The cat's down there looking at me all poofed out like, what the fuck? And I had just got done. Like, before I left that morning, I vacuumed up any litter that she had put on the floor. I vacuumed up any food she had put on the floor. I organized everything and was like, all right, let's go. That was my morning ritual. After I hit the deer, there was cat food, cat litter, fucking just a mess everywhere. The hood was bent. The hood was cracked. The grill, the look-alike chrome plastic grill, was shattered. The bumper was broken. And so it was drivable only because it was cold out. Once we got the truck back to the yard and my boss wanted to see what the damage was, he took some things apart and discovered that my radiator and transcooler were both broken. Because apparently the metal, there's that metal, the steel bar that the hood hooks onto, that when you lift up the hood, that's where it's hooked onto, that had bent in. And so the guy who actually owned the truck was being a real asshole about things, and I'm not going to get into the politics, but basically my boss told him, you know what, dude, just fuck you, come take the truck, we have another sleeper we can use, we don't need your shit. Well, that other sleeper was my old sleeper, the old ProStar. Well, I guess I can't call it the old ProStar because this one's actually newer than that one was, but that one was a whole lot nicer. Yeah, the core support, that's what it's called. See, I'm not mechanically inclined, but the guys up in Pendleton, Oregon, they took a look at my, was it Pendleton or Hermiston? I think it's closer to Hermiston. Over there up, it might be Pendleton. Woodpecker Truck Service, they do international. And they said something about the core support being fucked up, but they didn't spot the radiator. So, yeah. And I was killing it, man. I was pulling like 3,500 miles a week when that happened, and now everything's just fucked. No, this is the truck that did beep. But we found out what the beep was. The beep was because Rush wanted it in for a PM, and we were avoiding it because we wanted to keep rolling and making money, and they got mad and set my E-log to do a speed, an over speed warning at 35 miles an hour. And my boss told that lady, you do that again and my driver's probably going to throw that shit out the window. So I wouldn't do that again. He's very angry. I don't know how many of you might know the story, but I was rolling hard and I was out for, well, I was going home every weekend, but I think I stayed out for like 2.5, 3 weeks at this point. And the leasing company wanted this truck to come in for a PM. Well, we were going to get it up there for the PM when I went home, but they didn't have the patience for that. So what they did was they decided to annoy the fuck out of me as a method. And they set the little E-log device in here for Geotab to go beep beep beep, beep beep beep, beep beep beep, beep beep beep, like an overspeed warning when I hit 35 miles an hour. I drove all the way from Fort Worth to St. Louis listening to that shit. All night. Boy, was I pissed. Pyro was on Zello with me when that shit was happening. And everybody else was probably just as annoyed as I was, except they didn't have to sit in the truck and listen to it the whole time. So the only beeping this one does is apparently I had a backup beeper. And when I took it in for that PM, they were like, oh yeah, and we fixed your backup beeper. I'm like, great, thanks. Now I get to be that guy. If you can't, one of those guys is backing up right now. Man, I miss my other truck. Fridge and a freezer, a TV mount. I had to kind of half-ass this TV mount. There's a lot of parts that are still in the box. Yeah, fridge and freezer, TV mount, ungoverned, shore power outlets all throughout the sleeper. Man, it was a nice ride. It rode smooth, all black with the exposed tanks. Oh, it was beautiful. The next thing I was going to do was get those tanks cut and get them all polished up and nice and shit. But no, that's not going to happen. A backup beeper is required by federal law? Really? There's a lot. Most trucks out here don't have it. In fact, this is the first truck I've driven, aside from a day cab, that has a backup alarm. He did tell me how to disconnect it though, but I don't remember. It doesn't bother me, it bothers everyone else. It's looking like it's getting ready to rain over here. There's dark clouds off that way. Huh. I don't know if anybody on here on my channel watches this channel called World According to Briggs. Really good channel. You should go check it out if you're into like traveling or just random trivia about random places. He just uploaded, I got the notification just now. Top 10 reasons not to move to Trenton, New Jersey. Well, I can think of one big reason. It's fucking New Jersey. Who wants to go there? Not I. Truck smells heavily of cleaning supplies. It's better than how it smelled before, though. I gotta find somewhere to put these. I need to clean up my face, but every time I go into the shower, it's like, fuck it. I don't feel like doing it right now. Let's see. or just New Jersey in general. I mean, there's really nothing good about the state. And I'm not just being an asshole. I've found nothing good about that state. Especially when you gotta drive the New Jersey Turnpike. I'd rather cut my dick off and watch it go down the river. Lasagna delivery. Now that's something okay, fine. New Jersey's got some good Italian food. I will say that. But look at the demographic. Now, I would say Chicago has good Polish food, seeing as I'm Polish. But I don't like Polish food. I think it's fucking disgusting. I really, aside from like sausage on my pizza or sausage links for breakfast, I'm not a sausage fan. So Polish sausage, sauerkraut, ugh. The only good thing about Polish food is kolaczkis, with those cookies. And even that, I'm not really a sweets guy. So even that's pushing it. I made the wise move of marrying into the kind of food I like. My wife is Mexican, so I get all the good stuff all the time. Big Mexican food fan, big Southern fried food fan. Look how fucking fat I am. Big barbecue fan too. I do like some Italian food, mostly pasta. But I worked in an Italian restaurant for a time as a dishwasher, and I'm sorry, but Italian food, and I'm part Italian as well, but Italian food, when it comes back and it's time to wash the dishes, just looks like vomit. It's disgusting. Facebook is getting way too out of hand. Now, see, Matt, my wife would disagree with what you said. I like the Mexican food in Texas, but to her, it's Tex-Mex crap. She don't like Tex-Mex. Like, her family does not cook with ground beef. So it's always like carne or al pastor or chicken, no ground beef, no lettuce and tomatoes on the tacos, no sour cream on the tacos, and that's how I like it. I love Tex-Mex food. And we do plan on moving to Texas, but we're going to move down like right on the border. So it shouldn't be too hard to find actual Mexican food on the border, I would think. And I prefer well, okay. I like the queso blanco, the white cheese. I do love Tex-Mex. Taco Bell is very Tex-Mex influenced, and I'm a fucking Taco Bell junkie. But I do not like soft, unfried corn tortillas. If I'm gonna have a corn tortilla, it's got to be a hard shell taco. If I'm going to have a taco or a burrito, it's got to be a flour tortilla loaded with fucking sour cream and hot sauce. Oh, nice. You see, we're gonna be moving. I don't have money saved up yet. I'm having an issue with my car, with the car finance company. They keep fucking lying to me. That's what happened was, when I was local, my hours got cut really bad. Okay, and I will admit, I fell behind on my car payments, because my logic was, I live a quarter mile away from where I park my truck. If I lose my car, fuck it, at least my family has a roof over their head. Well, I ended up falling substantially behind. And twice now, I've come very close to being caught up to current, to the point where they said, you do this and we'll give you an extension. So this last time, I gave them 3 months payments all at once. Okay, I was 5 months behind. I gave them 3 months payments. They said, you do that, we'll give you a 2-month extension that'll make you current. And then, just make your payments as business as usual. So I did that. These cocksuckers waited until the last day of May to tell me, oh, your extension was declined and your car goes back into the repossession department tomorrow, the 1st of June. So at this point, I'm ready to tell them, you know what? fucking come take the car. Just take it. Sue me if you want. See if you get me to fucking pay you. And I'll just wait the 7 years. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them entirely. They want to lie to me like that. After I've tried 2-3 times now to get this extension, and I've given them 3 months at a time. That's a lot of fucking money. My car payment's $500 a month. So that's, you know, $505 a month, pardon me. So that's what? $1,515 right off the fucking bat that I give them to try and catch up, and they want to turn around and do this shit? Fuck them. The people that have my car loan company, the ones that gave me the loan, are actually a debt collector. So I'm not surprised by the amount of bullshit that I've been going through. If anybody's ever heard of Consumer Portfolio Services, that's who gave me the car loan. And I fucking should have known, but I was desperate for a car for my family because my last car was falling apart. But now, fuck them. I'm just going to save the money and buy a fucking car outright, and they can come take the piece of shit. Fuck them. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to save the money. Hopefully I can find somebody that will rent me a place down in Texas. We're looking at the McAllen area. You know, I explained to them, look, this is what happened. This is why it happened. But I'm good now, except for this car issue. Hopefully they will still allow me to rent a place down there. Save up for the 7 years. And while I'm dealing with the fucking repo, once that falls off, buy a fucking house. I mean, gotta do what I gotta do, and I've got to get out of Illinois. It's just, Illinois is getting way too California-ish. If I could be so honest, I don't really know how else to put it. The only thing that doesn't happen in Illinois that happens in California is earthquakes and we get earthquakes, wildfires. Our taxes are going up. The environment's just going to shit because of all these fucking regulations and whatnot. It's just, everybody who comes into the governor's office governs for Chicago. They don't govern for the state of Illinois, which is why a lot of us people in Illinois are like, you know what, if you want to be that way, fucking cut Chicago off and make it its own fucking state. Because if you go to southern Illinois and whatnot, they don't like how Springfield does things. 5 acres of land for $2,500. That is a good deal. See, what I would like to do, but my wife won't go for it, is I would like to get a plot of land and put a trailer on it to live in while I'm building a house. But my wife won't live in a trailer. I love my wife, but she's got high bottle champagne taste on Pabst Blue Ribbon budget. Okay. Maybe our budget isn't Pabst Blue Ribbon. I made myself sound really broke. We have a Heineken budget. Yeah, I mean, if you want to shoot me a message, like if you got Instagram, you can find me at 18 Wheels to Hell. Just put underscores in between everything, and you'll find me. If you want to message me on there, I am curious to know more about this land, because $2,500 isn't too hard for me to acquire. And I want to live off the grid. I don't want to be found. But my wife wants to live in society. I don't want neighbors. I really don't want neighbors. I hate neighbors. I'm a friendly neighbor, but I don't want neighbors. I'm a very quiet person, But I do like to invite my buddies over and get rowdy from time to time, and neighbors have a tendency to complain. Oh, let's see. Check right now. Instagram. Gotcha. I followed you right back. Thank you, sir. That's not bad. I would probably have to acquire a loan for 30 grand. And with the way my credit is right now, there's no way. I can't even apply for a credit builder's credit card right now because of the situation with the car and the situation with CR England. If Hunter was on here, he'd be able to vouch for me on the CR England issue. They are... I don't even know. They refused payment on a loan, and they're still coming after me for payment on a loan. So they're under a lawsuit right now where supposedly student loans are going to be canceled. So I'm banking on that. Okay. I want to address something. This is... I didn't catch who did it. And I really wish I would have caught who did it, because I'd have gone right out there and thrown it right back at him. Look at this shit. You see the garbage bag right there? That wasn't there 2 minutes ago. Can I zoom in? Yes, I can. That's disgusting. I don't know who did that. Maybe I should go ask one of these FedEx drivers, because they just pulled up, but I didn't see anybody dump that out. That ain't right, man. Especially when there's garbage can there, on the other side of there, over there. And I know there's one past that Stevens truck, because I walked that way to go into the truck stop earlier. Fucking dirty fucks. And if I didn't see who did it, I'm not gonna go up and walk up and ask who did it, because they're all just, even if they did it, they're gonna deny it. I really wish I'd have seen who fucking did that. That's one of those moments where you see who did it, and they say, no, I didn't do that. And you take the garbage can, or the garbage bag, and you go and you rip it open and throw it inside their truck and say, here you go, motherfucker. Though I do gotta be honest, this is one of the relatively cleanest truck stops I've ever been to, aside from that bag of garbage. There's like barely anything on the ground over here, which is rare. There's some places you go to and you don't even want to get out of the truck because it's just disgusting. Oh, we got somebody walking out with a bag of garbage. Maybe a bag of garbage. Let's see what they do with it. If I see him throw it on the ground by that garbage bag, I'm going to go over there. I'll turn the camera around so you can see me go over there. But he had a backpack on with a plastic bag, so he might actually be going in to go take a shower. See, I like the desert and I like remoteness, and $150 a year isn't bad. I don't know a whole lot about property taxes, so I don't know if 20 grand a year is good or bad. I've never been a homeowner. I've only been a renter. But what I do know is the property taxes in Chicago are fucking insane, and my father-in-law has been complaining about him, and I keep telling him, hey man, why don't we all go in on a place in Texas, and that way we can all move down there, and my wife and I can save, and we can get our own place, and you'll still be close to us, because they don't want us to move. Oh, $20 a year. Oh shit! I thought I saw 20K. Wow. Okay, $20 a year. Now I've never been a homeowner, but I could say that $20 a year for property taxes is fucking excellent. Need to learn to read here, apparently. I think property tax up by where my in-laws live, where we're living right now, I think it's close to almost $8 grand, $9 grand. And it's not even that good of an area. I don't want to talk shit about where they live, but it has gotten worse and worse with the violence and the gangs and shit, and the property taxes just keep going up and up and up and up. We even have in Chicago what's called an entertainment tax. So whereas everybody else in the fucking world or in the country pays $12 for their Netflix, we pay like $15, $16 for our Netflix for our entertainment tax. It's fucked up. Like, I'll show you on my phone bill. Let's see, Sprint. What's up, Daniel? How's it going? Thanks for checking in, man. It's been a while since I've been live. Okay, let's go to where billing. I'll zoom in on this so you can see the bullshit tax we have to pay in Chicago. View my bill. Oh shit, I don't remember my password. I think that's my password. Oh, it is. I keep having to change my Sprint password because I always forget it. Let's see here. Government taxes and fees. Come on, open that up. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, come on now. This doesn't show it all. This doesn't show it all. These motherfuckers. Maybe I need to go online and go to a detailed. I want to show this because it's bullshit. Sprint.com. I agree it is time for a revolution, but I can't talk about that too much publicly because I don't want the black helicopters to come flying over me. You never know when the government's watching, and they're always watching. What's up, big brother? Okay, we're gonna go on the web browser and get a look at my bill, because on the web browser I can look at what would be a paper version of the bill, and I can show you where I believe it says Chicago entertainment tax. An entertainment tax. We have to pay to be entertained in the city of Chicago. View my bill. Hey. Let's see. View details. No, that's not what I want. Pain in the ass. There we go. Okay. Chicago City 911 tax, $10. Okay, maybe the tax for amusement isn't as much as I thought. It's 90 cents. But still, I'm not lying. They tax, look, right there. Chicago amusement tax. It's bullshit, isn't it? Chicago City, if applicable, and state excise tax, $1.58. Chicago City lease transaction tax, $7.17. Chicago City sales tax, for some reason, is negative 4 cents. Chicago City, see, this is all Chicago taxes. And then you get Illinois taxes. Chicago City utility tax, $1.58. Illinois 911 tax. Yeah, it's crazy. Chicago just adds on its own taxes for you. Bullshit, isn't it? So maybe I was a little over dramatic about the Netflix, but whereas everybody else pays $12, I pay $13 just because I live in Chicago. So yeah, that's why I want to get the fuck out of Chicago, man. It's not doing it for me. Chicago itself, driving a truck is a pain in the ass because the streets are tight. For instance, there was a guy, or not a guy, he was a teenager. He got killed by the tail end of a trailer because the trailer hopped the curb, supposedly. The kid walked out in front of the... Generally, it was the kid's fault because he walked in the path of the truck. But people were on the comments bitching, oh, these truck drivers hop the curb all the damn time because there's no room to make the turns. Pennsylvania is where I'm at right now. There's no room to make the turns. But the bridges, as long as you stick to the main Chicago streets, like Harlem, Cicero, parts of Kedzie, Pulaski, you'll generally be good. Just use common sense. There are a couple of bridges that'll trick you. There was one that I came up to that said like 13.3, and another driver and I were like, oh shit, because I forget if it was pickup or our customer's right fucking there, and we got this bridge. What the fuck do we do? And we were about to call the police to get an escort to back up the ramp and turn around, and another truck driver came flying out from the other direction, and he gave us a thumbs up sign, so we were like, fuck it, and we went right under it. And it was said 13.3. You just got to be careful. There are parts in Chicago that are very industrial. They don't have very many bridges to worry about. But what you do got to worry about is the tight quarters, because the streets are very small. If it's not a major intersection, you're going to have a hard time. And what makes it even harder is when you try to make some of these turns, you have to take up the whole fucking road, or you got to back in off the street, and nobody wants to let the trucks do what the trucks got to do. And everybody gets pissy because they clog up behind you where you can't see them, and then you get out and tell them to move, and they're all you should know how to drive. You should know how to drive. Yeah, well, you get in the fucking truck and do it. We'll see how much shit you fuck up because you don't know what you're doing. Where at in Chicago did you deliver? Because if you deliver on the south side, it's not so bad. The south side is more where the industrial parts are. and the bigger intersections where it's easier to turn the truck. But if you're up on the north side, good luck. I delivered a load of pumpkins once to the Jewel right down the street from Wrigley Field when the Cubs were in the playoffs and they had a game there that night. It was the year that we won the series. And not only was traffic a bitch, but this dock was not built for 53-foot trailers. They had one that was for 53-foot trailers, and then the dock next to it was for like box trucks. But there was a trailer dropped in the dock that I should have been going in. And I was trying like hell to get into this dock. I couldn't do it. Kept trying. I got real close, and then I heard bang. Smacked my tire on the, there was like a concrete ledge that stuck out. And it caught my tire and fucking blew it. Target department store, that's some alley. Ooh. You don't remember what side of the city you were on, though? North, south, west, east? Because there's a Target in Oak Lawn, which is like south side of Chicago. It's not Chicago. If you tell people Oak Lawn is Chicago, they'll get pissed, but to me it's Chicago. It's the far south side. But you have to take your truck into the parking garage and deliver. The dock is in a parking garage. Okay. I need some flavor and I need some energy, so it's time to crack open a full throttle. What the fuck? Oh, yeah. No, I won't take a truck into downtown Chicago. I used to have to do that when I delivered flowers. I delivered at the, God damn it. I delivered at the Home Depot in the South Loop, which was right downtown. And it was a bitch. Wasn't a bitch once I got used to it, but just the fact of getting to that store was a pain in the ass. You know, I've been thinking about looking into Schuster, but I've had people tell me that, and you probably saw good things about Schuster from, what's his channel? Trucking Answers. I love that guy. Very informative. But from what I've heard, that they run spot market freight. I don't know how true that is. And think about it too, you're pulling a reefer, and what do you do a lot with a reefer? You sit and wait. I'd rather pull dry van or flatbed or something like that. I've never done flatbed. I want to look into it, but because I know that's where the money's at right now. But I'm not a big fan of pulling reefer just because I don't like to sit and wait. If I was going to go anywhere, to be honest, and this might come out of left field for you guys, no, it's not Swift, but it is related to Swift. I would probably go to Knight. Spot market freight is the load boards like DAT. Landstar has a load board. It's basically brokered freight, and I'll show you the spot market. And this is when you hear a lot of people bitch about the rates on the spot market. This is what they're talking about. This is where a lot of like owner-operators and small companies find their freight, and this is how we find all my freight to do my long haul. So we'll do a search here. What am I close to? I don't even know what I'm fucking close to. Not too far from Wilkes-Barre. So say Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania to anywhere in the country. We'll do a 200-mile deadhead, and we'll do, we'll do picking up tomorrow, and we'll do a dry van. Okay, this shows there's actually a fuck ton of loads out this way. Wow. Last time I was out here, there was 4 loads on the board. 4. And none of them went where I needed to go. I was trying to get home from Connecticut, and there was 4 fucking loads on the board. Now, they did go to Chicago, but they all picked up in New York City, and I was like, no, not happening. So this is the load board. You can see we got top load right now is a load from Pensacola, New Jersey to Red Bluff, California. And you can see the rate that they pay you, that they're offering to pay. And let's see. They're offering, okay, I count the deadhead miles, but they don't, because they're only counting from their location to delivery. So we won't count the deadhead miles. It's 130 miles deadhead from Wilkes-Barre, but for them it's 2,914 miles, and they want to pay 3,150. If we take that and we do 3,150 divided by 2,914, that's only $1.08 per mile. If I were to propose that to my, this is what they were talking about by say no to cheap freight. If I were to propose this load to my boss, he'd tell me to fuck off. Simple as that. Because he would have to pay the fuel, he would have to pay all the payments for the truck, the insurance, all that shit, and then he has to pay me 54 cents a mile, deadhead and loaded. So if you want to get technical, they're only paying $1.08 a mile, but when you add the deadhead into it, so 130 plus 29.14, 3,044 miles total. I'm gonna write that down in my hand. When you really get into the nitty gritty, when you add in your deadhead and your trip miles, 3,044 divided by 3,150, this load is really only would pay 96 cents a mile. Now, you consider owner-operators that have truck payments, or even owner-operators that don't have truck payments. That's fucking cheap, okay? That's not cool. There was one load I found. I was sitting in Florida. I found a load from Tampa to Laredo. Excellent fucking miles if you're a company driver. The rate, 50 cents a mile. 50 fucking cents per mile. If my boss would have taken that load, he'd have lost 4 cents per mile on every mile that I drove just on paying me. That's what these brokers are trying to get away with, and that's why the spot market is so fucked up. Last year, you could find loads on there for fucking almost $3-4 a mile and make a killing, no matter if you had a truck payment. This is why I almost took over the payments on this truck. I was going to go lease out. And then the market tanked. And it keeps tanking. And it's going to stay this way for about a good 2 years. A buddy of mine who has been in this industry a long fucking time. Like, we're talking like 30 fucking years. He's saying it's going to be this way for another 2 years. And this is why you see trucking companies that are closing their doors. This is why you see owner-operators or lease operators who are giving up their trucks and going company driver or going dispatcher. That I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of the cause of it. But what also drives the prices down are big companies like Swift, Warner, Crete, coming in and undercutting people. We lost my dedicated Texas run to somebody who, I don't know what company it was. I heard it was a bigger company who undercut our rate. I'm not going to say what we were going down there for, but they underbid us by, I think it was like $500. And the shipper, their job is to make money, as much money as they can on shipping the load. So naturally, they're going to go with the cheaper carrier. That's what's happening out here. That's how Swift and JB Hunt and Warner and all those big companies get these giant contracts, because they're able to run for cheaper. So you'll have little Johnny, 20 truck operation like us come in and say, yeah, we'll move that for $1,000. And then you'll have Swift come in and say, oh, we can do that for $500. Who do you think's going to get the load? Yeah, JB Hunt drivers are fucking nuts, and they're also rude. I've never gotten along with a JB Hunt driver, except for one that was trying to tell me to go over there. He was actually a nice guy, but I do not want to work for a company that big. I've been considering Knight, but it's also a matter of I have loyalty. And yeah, there's hard times over here, but that's because we're a smaller company. And I'm the only one doing over the road. But, for instance, shit that my boss ships down to Indy. The original rate he had, I'm not going to say. But they're now offering him a quarter of what they used to, or a half of what they used to move shit from Chicago to Indianapolis. So it's even hurting the local companies. What's got me thinking Knight, I've had some people going over there. I know somebody who's been over there for a very long time and has been there from the time that they were a haha, you work at this company, to now this is a considerable company. I would take a pay cut, yes, but the miles are consistent. They've got consistent freight. You get a bonus at the end of every month for every mile that you drive, provided your safety score is good and your fuel is good, which they're driving automatic trucks, and if you're a safe driver, you should have no problem with the safety over there. I had no problem at Crete, except Crete didn't get bonuses for that. So you get a 5-cent bonus on every mile you drive at the end of the month. So if you figure you put in, let's say, 10,000 miles that month, that's a $500 bonus. They've got terminals everywhere. All the trucks now are coming with inverters, and all the new trucks are coming with inverters and fridges. And from what I've heard, it's just a very, very honestly open door policy kind of company. It's just, I want to go, but I also don't want to leave here. I feel loyal to here. Not at night. Not at night. I've got a buddy of mine, and if he puts my name down under his name, I'll pretty much get the same treatment as him. And this is a guy who's been there for over a decade. He's constantly putting in 3,500 miles a week, which is fucking good. He's constantly running shit from coast to coast, and they let him go wherever he wants to go. That's the other thing about Knight. They ask you, where do you want to go? Over here, it's kind of just, I got to go where the money is. So if I'm really dying to go to Florida, or if I'm really dying to go to Texas, or if I want to go out to Arizona or up to Washington or whatever, I can't just go and do that. I got to go where the spot market is, the money's leading to. And that kind of sucks. I really don't want to be over here in Pennsylvania, but whatever. And that's the shitty thing. If I go tonight, I will be in an automatic truck. But I'm realizing at some point I'm just going to have to grit and bear it. One of these days, if I decide to go owner up, it's going to be going back to a manual, of course. But, there's money on short loads, if those short loads are dropping hooks. If you can bang them out, bang, 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 you can actually accrue a lot of miles doing that. That's what I was doing when I was regional at Crete. I did over the road at Crete, and then I did Midwest Regional. And I was still pulling in, considering the fact that I went home on weekends, and I was home at least 2 nights a week. Consider that, and consider the fact that I mostly ran Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois, and Wisconsin. I was still making anywhere between 2,500 to 3,000 miles a week. Now, I don't like doing regional because I like to see the country. I like to go. I like to just go. I don't want to do 5 dropping hooks in a day. And that's what I was doing. And that, that's what I was doing. Sometimes regional, that's what I was doing local. I don't want to do that shit. I want to just go. I want to drive. I want to listen to my tunes, smoke my cigarettes, and just wake up in one state and fall asleep 700 miles somewhere else. Crete was a very good company when I worked there, but I have also heard that they've been kind of going downhill. And I almost went back to them recently, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, if that's the case, because I really don't want to go somewhere that's going to shit the bed. But I would be real careful going to a small company. Make sure that they've got consistent freight. Coinbase is giving me notifications. I wonder if my Litecoin investment went up. I have $40 invested in a Litecoin, and it dropped all the way down to like $6. It keeps fucking buzzing my phone. I'm kind of wondering if there's been a spike, but it's not loading. Oh, we're up to $19.13. It is climbing back up. So is Bitcoin. I have a buddy of mine that invested like $100 into Bitcoin, and he sold his. I don't know if he sold when it spiked, but his $100 investment turned into like $5,000. That's why I invested a little bit into Litecoin, because it wasn't. Bitcoin's too expensive. Litecoin was a little more doable. And I can show you or tell you, back when I invested, Litecoin was like $300. Now it's at 124. So it went down, but not like it went way down right after I invested. Like way down. My $40 investment, like I said, turned into like only $6. But now it's been climbing back up. So that's a good thing. It just dropped a whole $1. What the fuck? Cryptocurrency, I don't know a whole lot about it, but what I can tell you is it's just about as volatile as the trucking industry. It can change like that. And one bit of advice that my first trainer over at Warner gave me about trucking is the only thing that stays the same about the trucking industry is that nothing stays the same. Truer words have never been spoken. I think the only words that are about as true as that it is what it is. I've actually been thinking of investing in marijuana stocks. In fact, yesterday I had a kind of an epiphany. I was like, I should quit trucking because it just got legalized in Illinois for recreational use and recreational use and sale. And I'm not one to toke. I might look like a toker, but I'm not a toker. But I was like, I should open a dispensary. I should quit trucking and open up a dispensary in Illinois. Make money. But apparently they want like $1 million to get your sales license. And I don't have $1 million. What's up, Hunter? What's up, Trucker's Life? We're talking about all sorts of shit here today. We've been talking about freight. We've been talking about stocks. Now we're talking about marijuana stocks, which I've heard is a very smart investment because weed stocks are only going to shoot up from here, just like the fucking plants. And I do support legalization. But no, I'm not a midnight toker. You can piss test me right now and we can prove that. But I do support 100% legalization. It's a fucking plant. I'd rather have people smoke weed than pop a whole bunch of pills and destroy their insides. I mean, I'm a drinker, and I know that drinking ain't good. It is far worse for you than smoking pot is, and so is smoking cigarettes. But, there's so many benefits to marijuana. And if alcohol is legal and is like the leading cause in deaths in several different statistics in this country, whereas marijuana has killed literally no one other than put people into a fucking food coma, why not? Why not make it legal? Like just like Cat Williams said, if anybody's ever seen I forget the name of the skit. He put out he's wearing like a green pimp outfit. He said, marijuana ain't never killed anybody. You might think that nigga dead. He ain't dead. You're gonna wake up in 30 minutes hungry enough to eat up everything in your damn house. Oh man. Looks like I'm gonna miss the rain. It's blowing off that way. Got some pretty impressive thunderheads on it though. I wonder if that's severe. Let's look at the Weather Channel. For those of you who don't know, I'm a storm fanatic. Radar. Yeah, bitch. Those things fucking missed me. They're going off towards Wilkes-Barre and Williamsport. And only one of them is listed as severe. And that's the one I'm looking at right now, actually. It's fucking tall ass storm. Wow. There's actually storm warnings out in Washington. Severe thunderstorm watch in Washington and Oregon. I'm not surprised about the ones in Montana. They get nailed from time to time. But Washington? I didn't know Washington got severe storms. They're all east of the mountains. But yeah, like Spokane area, Walla Walla. Even down in Oregon, past Cabbage Patch. Actually, Cabbage is actually under a severe storm warning too. Wow. Interesting. Severe storm warnings up in the northwest and the northeast, but absolutely none in Texas. Well, there's some in Arkansas. Huh. Yeah, see, I've been missing out on the storms. I saw a funnel cloud once this year, and but it was not when I wanted to see it. It was at night, going through Effingham, Illinois. The lightning was like a fucking strobe, so I could see the clouds really good, and I saw this little fucking fang start to drop from the clouds, and then it sucked back up, and I was like, did I just see what I think I saw? So I'm driving, I flipped open the Weather Channel app real quick just to double check. Sure as shit, the county I was in, I don't, what is it, Effingham County? I don't know what county that is. Tornado warning. So I did see a funnel cloud, and I've only been through one tornado, and that was in Iowa, and it actually hit me. It was fucking rain wrapped. I didn't see it coming. But other than that, I was down in Oklahoma and Texas when that week and a half long tornado spree kicked off, but I didn't get hit by any storms. I didn't see anything. I got out of there pretty much in time, and I was in the highest risk zone up in Edmond, just north of Oklahoma City. My cigarette went out. One thing I want to do when I move to Texas is I do want to learn how to storm chase, and I do want to start doing that as a hobby. I used to be terrified of thunderstorms, and now I can't get enough. I was the cock block kid. You know, there's a little bit of thunder and lightning, and then I got to go sleep with mommy and daddy. What didn't help was when I was younger. My neighbor had this big ass tree right outside my window, and lightning hit it. Jesus Christ. That sounded like a fucking bomb went off. And then all the fucking shrapnel from the wood, like the tree exploded. Okay? It fucking exploded. And it took out his shed, which he was gonna take out anyways. Oh shit, Enos, Texas? My trainer from Crete lives there. I hope he's okay. I haven't talked to him in a while. Say Tom Simmons. See if he posted anything about those storms. Well, they seem fine. Yeah, he took me to his house. He lives right there in Ennis. My good friend, may he rest in peace, always took loads over there, and he called it Penis, Texas. Penis, Texas. I call it anus because just it looks like it's pronounced anus to me. Yeah, you can see this was the storm clouds that were looking like they were going to come hit me, but they've moved on. Get out of my way, Jimmy. You can see they're pretty tall. And there's another storm system over there. But I've been missing out on all the fun. I mean, I don't really want to come across another tornado in a semi, but looking at one from a distance wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't mind that, as long as it's going away. If that fucker looks like it's standing still or looks like it's getting bigger, I'm fucking turning around and going the other way. Fuck that. Christ, this dude's got a fucking massive antenna. I thought I had a big antenna with a 4-foot fire stick I've got on my passenger side, but that bitch is like 5 feet tall. I fucked up and forgot to take my fire sticks off of the black truck when we gave it back to the guy. Oh well. I just need to buy another dual coax cable and another mountain antenna, and because I like symmetry. I don't like only having one antenna. I thought that kind of shit was only cliche. And she was a cop. Holy fuck. That's funny. Well, guys, I think I'm going to get going here. I think I'm going to play some games or take a nap or something. I'm fucking sitting here until like 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So, I'm going to check out here. Maybe I'll go live later tonight. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow. I'll probably go live again. I just don't know when. So, y'all take it easy.